was just driving to work today. Pardon the noise. I'm in the car, obviously. But I was thinking about the nature of winning and failing. What is failure? Okay, let's frame this in a particular way. Say most people try 20 things a year, things that they want to accomplish, and succeed at, I don't know, 8 out of 20. That's probably a successful year, because most of the things that we probably try are not going to work out. I noticed that I try so many things. So if the average person attempts 20 things, I would say I attempt 120. But the same ratio of success, I experience the same ratio of success, right? But that also means that I have, quote unquote, failed substantially more times because I haven't succeeded in so many things. Now, it gets to a point with anything in life, if it happens frequently enough, there's this scientific term called habituation, where an organism, or us, whatever, becomes accustomed to a certain thing, so that you no longer notice that it's there if it's not harming you directly. Think of like a persistent tapping. Now, over time, yeah, I feel it now, but if this tapping were to persist for an entire day, eventually I probably wouldn't even notice it. It's not doing any harm, you know, like it's not painful or anything. The same thing can happen with a high degree of failure. You become habituated. You know it's failure. You can feel it, right? You tried something, you did not succeed. You quote unquote failed. But we get to a point where failure becomes habituated. And because I've tried so many things and quote unquote failed so many times, when things don't work out, I can't even tell. It's just another thing. And which brings up another point. I had an opportunity, I suppose, to do some research over at Brody School of Medicine. And I met with the doctor, I'm not going to mention his name. And, it was a great conversation. I thought I might have had the opportunity to do some graduate research, right? I got an email a couple of days later saying that, they decided to go with other people who were more in line with the particular type of research. And I'm like, okay. Thank you for considering me. This is my problem. Thank you for considering me. I think if it says something along the lines, eventually, I'll find something if I'm supposed to, type of deal. And I think my response caught him off guard. I think maybe he was apologetic. That was the tone of his response. It was real apologetic, like I would have been disappointed. And I realized that, wait a minute, my response was my normal response as it would to anything, any type of failure that I experienced. I don't even feel it. I just move on to the next thing because that thing was not meant for me at that particular moment. So when I responded, I was like, well, I put myself in the best position that I possibly could to succeed at this thing. So whether it works out or not doesn't even matter, because I gave myself the best chance of succeeding. So this person could never possibly disappoint me. Only I could disappoint myself by an improper mindset. The idea that people have access and power over our emotional well-being is something that I thought a lot about. Emotional access is something that someone needs to be consistent for an extended period of time in order to have access to be able to affect your emotions in a negative way. Because I think we all probably know, if you get the wrong people in your life that do not always have your best interest, they can take you down a path that you do not want to go down, right? So we are much too precious and much too valuable to allow emotional access to just anybody. That must be earned, right? So yeah, we had a short back and forth, me and this doctor, and I've had these types of interactions where my normal response is abnormal for the people on the receiving end of my responses, which kind of led to me even thinking of actually just sharing my thoughts, because I'm being so disconnected from everyone. It's like I said, I'll tell people this, my daughter and I, we've been existing in this bubble of joy and peace for the last 5.5 years. And we just leave this bubble when we go out and interact with other people. We spread that joy, we spread that peace. But then we come back and we reinforce that joy and that peace. It's just constantly building and growing. And it's easier and easier for us to share this joy and this peace with everyone, because I've cultivated a specific environment, right? So, I don't know, I just think it's a beautiful thing. I'm in a beautiful situation with my daughter and the path that I'm on. And, I've been hiding enough, right? I've been out here, people have seen me, right? And I think, we're all slaves to physicality to a certain degree. It's hard for people to look past someone's physical presentation. It could be because of age, it could be because of height, it could be because of weight, how the face looks, how they carry themselves, physicality. All these things, physicality. And we are slaves to physicality. We make concessions for people who look nicer. Right? We draw conclusions about people who look or behave a certain way because we tell ourselves, oh, we've seen this version of a human before. We kind of know what to expect. But I'm finding personally that people have no idea the measure of the man when they see me. They always get it wrong. I have to sit down and explain myself because they miss the mark by such a wide margin because of my physicality. And oftentimes it can serve as a distraction. My physicality will diminish my words in the eyes of other people. But that could be a whole nother conversation. I'm kind of just rambling, but it started about the nature of just failing and winning. So I think with the proper mindset, you can eliminate those apparent failures. It looks like failure, probably feels like failure, but it's not really failure, especially if you put yourself in the best position to succeed and to win, no matter what it is you're applying for. You should be at peace within yourself. And your emotional aspect is not dependent on the result. It's dependent on how hard you try and what you put forward to begin with. That's the kind of power and control that you have, that we all have within us. Let's not give people the keys to the emotional kingdom that do not deserve them. Make people prove that they can be trusted with your emotions, all right? Stop thinking about dumb shit. Start thinking about dumb